Hey, it's James Robbins here, and in this video, I'm going to show you a very important principle when it comes to storytelling as a leader. If you want to use stories to impact people, then you have to understand their impact on brain chemistry, okay? So let me just go on over to my slides for a moment. We're talking a little bit about brain chemistry and story and why this is so important. Now, if you saw my other video where I walked you through the basic story arc that you can use as a leader to motivate, inspire, and teach your staff, then you should see a link hopefully on this screen. And if not, then you can find that below. But go ahead and watch that video and it walks you through that. But where I want to take you is here. It's kind of an overlay of that story arc, just so we can understand how brain chemistry works when it comes to story. So in that last video, if you watch that, you would notice that a story has these 5 elements, and one of them is a setting, where it's a character in a place. But then there's something called the inciting incident, and that's where usually there's some kind of a problem that is kicked off. And the reason why that's important is because the problem then creates tension, right? There's conflict in the story, and it's that tension that's so important. So what happens when that tension is what tension does is it sustains attention. In other words, we're gripped, we're going to be hooked, we're going to stay tuned in. And the longer that we pay attention, what happens is the longer we pay attention, the more likely we are to begin to share the emotions of the main characters. And so this is why, I mean, Hollywood has perfected this. They know how to start the conflict. They know how to bring you in so that you begin to identify with the hero of the story, right? And so that's what happens. We begin to share emotions. And then when that happens, is that we are more likely to mimic the feelings and behaviors when the story is over. Now, I want you to think about this as a leader. As a leader, we are trying to impact people's behaviors. And so we can use storytelling to do that when there's certain behaviors that we want them to take. We're going to create a story where the main characters are using those types of behaviors, and ultimately it's going to get them to what they want. And so here's the wild thing. Oxytocin is released and it leads to an increase in trust for the storyteller. That's what happens as we begin to share emotions with the main character in the story. Also, when we begin to tell a story, dopamine is what gets released, and then cortisol gets released when there is some kind of conflict, some kind of stress. And this is all that. The reason why I'm telling you all this is because without story, you don't bring in these brain chemicals, and these brain chemicals help people connect. They help people internalize the point that you're making, and ultimately that's going to impact their behavior, okay? And listen, if you would like more help with storytelling as a leader and how you can use it to motivate your employees, inspire your team, and communicate like a master, then check out my course on storytelling for leaders. You can find all the information right below in the description section here.